Going to fix that today, right? The first thing that you need to do to become a superstar employee, I need you guys to participate in team meetings, but without complaining. So some people have this mindset that team meetings are actually a place to complain, right? Sitting with my CEO in the same desk changed my mentality. Oh, potato and chips, tell us more. I'm loving that. I am loving that. But Tobile, thank you for coming through. The queen of the moderators, the lieutenant of the Fetch Army is here, guys. Stand up for Batobile. You understand what I'm saying, guys? So a lot of people have this mindset that team meetings are for complaining. So whenever they're saying there's a team meeting, everybody wants to bring a complaint. Nobody sits in a team meeting and says, okay, guys, I was thinking about a couple of strategies. You remember last week we had 6 complaints, right, from clients. And one thing that I picked up is that there's an issue with maybe how we communicate, with our clients, and that's how they start complaining. So my suggestion was, I want us to maybe engage with marketing and then see how on our Facebook page we can start mentioning 2 or 3 things. Nobody comes into a meeting like that. Everybody comes into a meeting ready to fight and complain, and you don't do this for us. You will never be a superstar employee. You will never. You will be loud, but not in a good way. And professionally, it's very unattractive. So as directors, we make note of that, right? We will make a note with, okay, low uso, it's okay. When we're thinking about promotions and restructuring the company and moving people to different positions, trust me, your name is not going to be there. Your name is not going to be there. I wish I was a superstar employee. The problem is my introversion, low self-esteem, etc. Stembiso, I will tell you how we fix that. Right? People must have a personal development plan. There you go. Potato chips, I was going to get into that, actually. Right? I was going to get into that. Read more books, leave negative comments aside, etc. I love that. You see, that's how we're going to do this. But Stembiso, we're going to sort you out because we are the Fetch Army, right? And we are working with you. I want you to understand that. Stembis, we are working with you, right, in this journey. So guys, when you get into meetings, use that industry knowledge and come up with stuff that's going to make you a superstar employee. And guys, you don't have to be an extrovert, right? So Stembis, I'm speaking to your point. Guys, you don't have to be an extrovert. You just need to sit in there and communicate the information that you need to communicate and exit. Right? So you don't need to be there all the time, speaking all the time, right? You don't need to be like me. I speak with my hands and I'm very energetic. You can do these things while you are a cool, laid-back person. You don't need to change that. All you have to do in 3 or 4 sentences. This is what I was suggesting. I was looking at the rate of complaints. And then, guys, I was thinking that maybe what we can do is that we can move forward by working with the marketing department and then even say that I would like to volunteer myself to go and speak with Candy from the marketing department and then see how we can have, how we can come up with this strategy. And then I will get back to the team. You are done for the rest of the meeting. You don't need to say more. From there on, people will give you input. People will tell you how they can support you and whatnot. You make your notes. You are done for the rest of the meeting. You don't need to constantly be there and bumping heads with people. And then, you think arguing is the way to go and then it makes you get recognized. No, it's professionally unattractive if you do that, right? So guys, please, in the next team meeting, go in there and say, I'm here for solutions. Guys, I'm not ignoring the fact that there are issues within your company. Thank you so much, Potato and Chips, for the gifts. I really appreciate it. And everybody who gifted, I really appreciate you guys, right? And everybody who's tapping the screen, thank you so much. Let's keep tapping, right? So I want you guys in your next team meeting. I'm not sure when your next team meeting is, but guys, I want you to go there with a different mindset. I am not ignoring that there are issues within your company. I am not saying you should not raise issues that you are having with the company. But guys, every team meeting, you are complaining. Every team meeting, not even one solution, not even thinking outside the box. Chelsea, come on now. It just can't be. It's not sustainable. It's emotionally draining, not just for you, but for the people that you report to as well. Every time they listen to you complain, your teammates are tired of you. They're even too scared to tell you. So make space for that. There will be space for that, right? But when you get into meetings, guys, that's what I used to enjoy. And that's what happens when you are connected to your sector, you are connected to your industry, you are serious about your profession, and you are serious about growing it, right? You start finding solutions within your department and say, this is how we can do things. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, yeah, but why must you live to impress people? Guys, this is not for other people. This is for you. You understand? This is for you. You get what I'm saying? By the way, Coach Spoo, I'm the guy who you help with. Get Nelson. Nelson, I'm going to call you by your government name. Our potato chips when you are Nelson. I remember you, Nelson. I remember you perfectly. I remember you perfectly. I think we did it twice, Nelson, if I'm not lying. You came into the live. And I think we are connected. We are actually connected. We're following each other on LinkedIn. So yeah, I remember. Nelson, I remember you. You understand what I'm saying, guys? So that's what I want you guys to do. Have a different mindset. If you connected to the work, yeah, now, hey, now I'm selfish with ideas. Jukes, don't be. Don't be. Be selfish with your growth to the point that you share ideas. Because you know what it does for you. Guys, corporate is a game. That's something that you need to understand. So when you share ideas, right? And then somebody recognizes those ideas and your name starts moving around in the company. Let me tell you why you did it. You did it for you. Ke strategy. You did it for you. So that your name can start making rounds, so that you can get favored when it comes to promotions. You can get favored when it comes to increases, so that you can beat the competition. Because everybody else who's sitting in that team meeting is your competition at the end of the day. So Jukes, trust me, share those ideas. Because there's nothing you can do with those ideas. Those ideas probably only work in that company. Give it to them. Then when you grow, you'll move on to the next position, or you will move on to the next company, right? And that becomes your interview content. In an interview, when they ask you what is some of the most amazing things that you've implemented, let's say now you're going for a senior management position and you mention all of these things, they're going to go, wow, this is impressive. So it's for your own benefit. Trust me. Share those ideas, guys. Share those ideas. Give it to them. You must be selfish with your own growth, that you know how to get strategy, right? So guys, that's the first one. Guys, the second one is that seek management's direction and give feedback, right? Managers like to feel important. Managers like to feel like they have somebody on their side, right? That's why they sit in their office alone and they're like, hey, me, I don't have friends here. They need some kind of an alliance, right, guys? And that's what you do. The Game of Thrones, this thing. So I used to walk into my CEO's office, right? That's correct. People who are afraid to share ideas are highly insecure. Yes, exactly. Exactly. You know, guys, let go of your insecurities and share ideas. If somebody else is going to take credit for it, it doesn't matter if they take credit for it. You have built up some information and some skill for yourself by going through that process. That's going to make you big one day, go big, right? You give them the ideas and they take all the credit. That's what I'm saying though, Bulel. Let them take the credit, right? Because when they take the credit, what do you take? You take a skill that you learned, right? You take the confidence that you've learned out of it. You take the interview content that you're gonna use on your next one. You understand what I'm saying? There are things that you are building for yourself. So your outlook should not be always other people. Guys, you must reel it in, bring it back to yourself. Right? I used to share a whole lot of ideas, guys, a whole lot of ideas. And some of my peers would be sitting with another executive, and my other executive would be sitting with another executive, and they'll start talking to, maybe there's one who's hogging all of the ideas and they're gatekeeping. I don't care about that person. I don't compete at that low level. But there are 2-3 Nyana executives who would go out there and they would start telling people that, yo, Smooth said this and that. And that's how I was brought into a board meeting, my first board meeting before I was even a board member, because somebody said, no, Smooth can explain it better. From there on, I was flying. I was gone, right? So guys, don't worry about people taking credit. Who cares? I mean, if you're competing for credit, it's like you are competing for crumbs. You know, I compete for bread. I don't compete for crumbs, right? So guys, the second one is that you must seek management's direction and feedback. What I was saying to you is that management likes to feel important, right? So what I used to do strategically, I used to just pass by my CEO's office and knock and be like, hey, listen, do you have 5 minutes, right? And I know they get excited, like, oh, somebody's coming, to talk to me. Yes, Boo, you can come in. Then I would sit down. I was thinking, this is what I want to do with this next client. And then, these are some of the ideas that I wanted. And I just wanted to hear what would be your input and etc. Right? That's what I would do. And then she would feel so excited that I'm coming with these things and she would want to discuss. And then now all of a sudden she's pulling in another executive. Oh, let's call this one very quickly. All of a sudden I'm putting myself in a place where I am pitching my cleverness and I'm pitching my skills. And then after I'm done with that project, I'd come back and give feedback. And I'd be like, do you mind if we bring in that other executive as well so that I can give feedback? That was my way of navigating. That's how I was moving. You understand, guys? You have to move. That's why you need street smarts in this corporate world, right? You need to move a certain way in order to get yourself there. That prevents you from being a dull employee. So your manager is aware of you. Other executives are now aware of you. That's why I'm saying up your thinking, up your game, up your thinking. You understand what I'm saying? So you always have, just knock on the door and and you know what happens? Né? The more I did that is the more now they started calling me to share ideas and whatnot, right? And they started to feel respected and the wall came down. And then Mina, I was the only person that they were not toxic to, but they were toxic to other people. Mina Namanje, all of a sudden I'm in a safe space with this person. I remember now all of a sudden I'm in that big Mercedes Benz. I'm going to meetings with this person, right? And I'm pitching myself constantly, and I'm getting exposed to some of my, some of other external executives and government stakeholders and all of that, because now this person is taking me everywhere. You know what that is? That is my LinkedIn content. That's gonna get me headhunted. That is my interview content. That's gonna make me their best candidate when it comes to interviews. I'm gonna crush everybody else because everybody else is gonna answer interview questions normally, right? How do you handle pressure? It sounds like a cross questioning. Me, I'm a storyteller. I can talk about how that day in the morning I drove with my CEO. We went to this meeting and these people at the interview now are awake and they're like, wow, we are loving this. I become the leading candidate. So it's for me, guys. It's not for anybody else. It's for me. So guys, I need you to do that. Get to a point where you are Guys, it's a corporate game and you have to play it. A lot of people have hopes in systems and processes that, if I work hard and I leave late at night, I'm going to get a promotion. Guys, that's not how corporate works. That is not how corporate works. You need to play the corporate game in order to win. And part of it is making sure that you are not a dull employee, right? So that is point number 2. Kiri, thank you for coming through. I see you, my sister, right? So yes, guys, let's double tap the screen. Let's go to number 3. You must suggest changes and improvements. Guys, always suggest changes and improvements. So this goes to point number 1 and point number 2 as well. Right? Butselo, thank you for coming through. We see you, right? So that's another one, right? So you must always come up with changes and improvements. How can things improve? If you go to keraemporium.co.za, you read a blog article that I did about how to get a job promotion fast. Go check it out. Go see what I'm talking about there, right? So what you are saying is we take a chance and rub shoulders with management. We can navigate. That's what I'm saying, Beverly. Guys, rubbing shoulders. I get about your network is your net worth. If your network is made out of managers and executives within your company, I'm telling you, you are now rubbing the right shoulders. And guys, don't focus on your manager only. Guys, how many managers are in your company? I'm talking about if you're in customer care, there's a manager in HR, there's a manager in communications, there's a manager in a different department. Guys, those managers as well are important. So that if a manager call imbuzi, at least you have other people that can buy into your intelligence and whatnot. Always try to create those collaborations between marketing and your department, between HR and your department, right? So, I'll give you an example. Going to the HR manager and say, HR, listen, this is what I want to do for my team, right? So I was thinking for my team, I want to host something like this, and I would like HR to get involved in actually planning this thing and whatnot. You're sitting with this HR manager that's saying this person is brilliant, this person is showing leadership, this person is top dog, right? So whether your direct boss see this or not, it's irrelevant. This HR manager, next time they're sitting in Menko with other managers from other departments, they're going to be like, hey, and guys, Batobile came to me. Batobile is from this department. She came to me and then she mentioned something that I think we should really implement. You know what they're going to say? Next Menko, can Batobile come here? Batobile is going to be sitting in Menko before it's her time to sit in Menko, sharing some of these ideas. Her name starts circulating within the company. Let me tell you, you are a superstar employee now. Chances of moving up, you building your interview content and all of that, it's fine. Whoever takes the credit, it doesn't matter. You understand what I'm saying, guys? If you try to improve changes and your team feels like you're adding too much work for them, here's the thing, Nenanali. The way you present it, right? Because I know this happens a lot. I'm dealing with that case right now. I've introduced a digital system into the company. Oh, Nkosian. Nababantu, people are resistant. Some people are doing their own thing and whatnot. You stand your ground. If it's going to improve the company, you stand your ground. People thought I was going to change my mind, and I actually went to HR and I said, I want you to implement the change management workshop where I'm going to explain to people why we're implementing these things. And people that don't want to move with us, That is not a problem. So Nanali, you need a buy-in of your manager. You need a buy-in of your manager or a buy-in of a senior. That's why in that article that I'm speaking about, right, how to get a job promotion fast, I said, guys, there are steps to this. You're going to find changes and improvements. You're going to put them in a PowerPoint presentation, right? So you don't just speak things informally. That's another thing I want you guys to run away from. Don't discuss these things in the canteen and the kitchen and whatnot, right? You will put it in a presentation. That's what I always did. Then you will knock at your manager's door and say, listen, there's something that I just want to present to you. Do you have time? Right? If they say, no, I've got 5 minutes, you're like, no, I would like for us to book 30 minutes. Like, guys, make this a thing. And on the day of the presentation, come dressed up to the T and do your presentation so that you can get your managers buy-in when it comes to this. So avoid, when it comes to suggesting changes and improvements, avoid doing it informally, right? Do it formally. You have to put it on a PowerPoint presentation. You have to bring in the right stakeholders. Bring in a manager from marketing who likes the idea, right? Bring in a manager from a different department who likes your idea. Already come with your army of managers that you think they would give you the proper buy-in. Once you get that buy-in, Nanali, then you don't have to worry. People can complain. The other managers that have bought into this whole thing, I'm telling you, they're going to fight for this thing to happen. But that's if you are rubbing shoulders with managers. If you are not rubbing shoulders with managers and you're just rubbing shoulders with your peers, that is going to be very problematic, right? Resistance is a good sign that change is going to be a success when you push boundaries. That's the thing, though. You know, Shumi, you are 100%. So with me, I'm telling you, I said to them, this system is getting implemented. I'm not negotiating with you. The only thing I'm willing to negotiate is when you would like to upload your stuff on the system and in what order you are willing to upload your stuff on the system. There, I will give you your freedom, right? So that because abantu are funny, people are not the same, but the system is here. And if you guys have a problem with it, we're going to do a change management workshop. And trust me, if you feel like the system is not working for you, we do accept resignation letters. We don't have a problem with that. But at the same time, we will support you in adopting the system as long as you are not resisting. But if you're the kind of people who go to the kitchen and complain about the system and whatnot, I cannot support you. But if you come to me with a valid complaint and you're raising a valid issue, and you are raising it from the perspective of giving a solution of saying, I have an issue with this system. Thank you so much, Shumi, for the hand heart, right? I have an issue with the system, but what I'm thinking we should do is this. I'm willing to listen to you. So guys, get buy-in from the top dogs. Number 3, when you do suggestions and changes, guys, you make it a formal process. Put it on a PowerPoint. Unuke kamnandi that morning and organize a meeting with your manager and present. That's what we do as managers. That's what we do as executives. Have you ever seen the executives when they call each other like, guys, can you come to my office for this much? And then you see other executives going in and then they sit around the table. There's normally a presentation of what we are doing to move forward with the company. That's what happens. That's how communicate. So you can't communicate informally and come up with ideas informally. That's not going to work. Look the part as well. I'm telling you, show me. I used to take my presentation seriously. When I knew that I'm going to present to my CEO, to my manager, even if it's something small. So people will be like, hey, the thing that you are actually presenting is such a small change. I was like, it's a small change, but let me tell you something. This is Game of Thrones. How I walk in there and how I present myself in there with my perfume and everything, because I know 2 or 3 other managers and executives from other departments have been called into this thing. I remember one day I made a suggestion to my CEO and she said, I think the HR executive needs to be here, Smooth. This is a very good idea. And I also think that, the person who's heading members in business and all of that, she started mentioning all of these people and she sent out an email. I knew who was coming to that meeting. So now I can't come there with information that's written on a piece of tissue and just present. I knew what I needed to do that day. Guys, that day, even my shoes tasted a polish for the first time in many years. The shoes were polished. Kiwi. You understand? So guys, suggest changes and improvements that will make you visible. What we're speaking about here, Khopotso said it earlier, it's visibility. You need to be visible. Be like a small business. If you're a small business, you're operating in a community, but you are not visible. How are you going to close deals? How are you going to grow? So you need visibility. Be like a business, right? Number 4, you must always express positivity in negative situations. Now, guys, I'm not saying have toxic positivity, right? Toxic positivity is basically where a submarine is sinking and the bad example, too soon for that. So toxic positivity is where you guys are being attacked and then you know what the army that is attacking you is going to kill you, right? But you just come up with this toxic positivity of saying, I mean, I'm bulletproof, they're not going to shoot me, knowing they're going to shoot you. That is toxic positivity. The positivity that I'm talking about is you need to think that the situation is negative and you can acknowledge that it's negative, but you are saying we have a fighting chance. There's something that we can do there. It's too soon. Sorry, guys. The word was stuck in my head. I was trying to say something else, right? So that's the story, guys, right? So you acknowledge that it's bad. I'll give you an example. I was waiting for the submarine scenario. We're not gonna go there today. Nobu, Asila, and Easy. I'm not. They're gonna cancel my live now. People that are listening, they're gonna report me. Right. So I'll give you an example. 2020. I mean, I'm head of SMME development in this consulting company. Right. We get hit by COVID. Our COVID situation is bad. Right. They are canceling all of the consulting gigs now. Right. It's difficult to get in the market now because companies are not spending money. They are holding back. So one of the things that my team used to do, they used to come and say, oh, we are so doomed, COVID, hey, umhlaba uphelile, everything. I used to sit them down and say, guys, I need you to find positive solutions in this negative situation. Yes, let's cry, let's hug each other, and then let's acknowledge that we are all worried. But what can we do? You know, guys, this one girl, I'll never forget her. She leaves the meeting. Later that day before I go home, right? This girl is a director today. You see, guys, she was showing me visibility. This girl is a director today that I'm telling you about. This girl comes to my office just before we leave at 5 o'clock and says, can I talk to you? I was like, dude, I'm about to leave. It's like, this is important. I'm sure you can give me 30 more minutes. I said, 100% fine. She opens up her laptop, she fires it up. She puts up a presentation. She says to me, Sboom, a lot of our government has released this UIF thing that you can apply for, right, in order to cover a certain percentage of your salaries. Guys, unprovoked, she went and she did her research because she takes herself seriously, this person, unprovoked, on her own. Because, I mean, like she said, and it worried her that we need to do something as a company. This person was not even, she was a specialist. She was not even at management level in Menko. So, Sbu, what I'm thinking that we should do is let's present this as a solution to our guys. A lot of them are going to struggle with the admin of actually applying for all of these UIF things, right? So my plan is, right, we charge them 1,500 rands an hour in order to do their UIF applications and whatnot. Guys, I almost fell off my chair. I was like, these are the people that I'm looking for. So you see, she understood we're in a negative situation. She left and came back with a positive solution. While everybody else was busy complaining, walking to their cars and standing in the kitchen, this girl said and guys, it paid off. This was in 2020. Today, she's sitting at an executive director level. She's sitting at an executive director level. So do you guys understand what I'm talking about? Do you understand the mindset that I'm talking about? She was visible and she's still getting a lot of directorship positions. She sent me a message the other day. Coach, should I take this one? This one is an executive director in Cape Town. Should I take this one? She even has one from Dubai. Coach, do you think I should relocate? I was like, you have nice life problems. But she's constantly putting herself out there. So that's what happens when you express positivity in a negative situation. So she wasn't walking in blind and saying, oh, I manifested it. I prayed for it. It's going to happen. My director, we're going to be fine. I was shocked. And I said to her, I've been here for 8 months. Not once have you come to me with something like this. So all along, she was actually a dull employee. But I don't know what compelled her that day to jump out. This girl, and I gave her the entire project. I said, the whole project is yours. Mina, my job is to get you the budget and the support. Ufuna malini for this thing. Sbu, for this one, we just need this software and that software and whatnot. It's going to cost us 50K. I said, I'm behind you. I will go to Exco next time I'm meeting with my directors. I will ask with budget. What else do you need? Yo, Sbu, I don't think Jabu is going to listen to me because Jabu is a negative person. I said, I'll sort out Jabu. I'll sit down with Jabu. I want you to implement this thing uninterrupted. So those are people, guys, that are putting themselves out there to be visible. And they're saying we refuse to be dull employees. So ask yourself, what is the most important thing for you? Ask yourself this question. Is being a dull employee serving you in a bigger scheme of things? Let me tell you where it's serving you, right? Where it's serving you is that number one, you don't have to deal with people at work. Number two, you don't have to celebrate the employer because apparently as employers, we are horrible people. Number three, you don't have to get into the stress because you collect the paycheck and then you go home and then that is it. That's my relationship with the workplace. Yes, it services you there. But in the grander scheme of things, where you are now fetching an executive position, is it serving you? No. So you need to balance your personal interests and your professional interests. And a lot of people rarely balance their professional interests. It's only their personal ones. You understand what I'm saying? I love Career Emporium. Thank you so much, Z.A. Belinda. We love you too. Right? So that's what you need to ask yourself. Am I balancing the two correctly? Or have I become so hostile towards corporate that I just don't care anymore? Or sometimes you're not hostile, you are just scared, and then you must just say, okay, I'm scared. Coach, I'm scared, right? Don't cook up these stories that you know when you go to sleep at night. You know those stories are not true. Yeah, I mean, I'm strong enough and ngiyabangena. Yay, they mustn't tell me. Yay, these people, you know who I am. Yay, I will come here, do bare minimum and go home, right? So Zenzi comrade, but the truth is, just say you are scared. Just say I'm scared. You know, coach, I'm scared. I'm scared of putting myself out there. Or just say I don't know how to. I don't know how to. Because masking it as this hostility is not going to help you. Just say I'm scared. And then, yeah, most of us are scared and we are really small fish in the sea. You know what, Beverly? We are all sharks. The world just hasn't seen it yet. We are all sharks, right? You could never be a small fish. As long as you have an ambition of becoming an executive, you are an executive today. It's just that the position hasn't happened yet. And you implement all of these things, I'm telling you. So, Beverly, this is what I want you to do. Beverly, I want you in a meeting. You know when you speak and your voice goes, ha ha, and it's like it's shaking. And your stomach feels like it's turning. I want you to put in a position to say something even though that is happening. Even though that is happening in a meeting, just say, guys, Beverly, what sector are you working in? Tell me, give me. Let's make an example with Beverly. Beverly, tell me the sector that you're working in. Tell me your sector and then your position as well. Don't tell us how much you are earning, right? And you know that kind of stuff. And don't tell us the company that you're working for, right? We're trying to keep everything confidential. But give me an example, Beverly. Just put there, and I'll give you an example of what I want you to say in your next team meeting. I will tell you what you need to say. But guys, when you open your mouth, your voice is going to shake. Your arms are going to be sweaty. Your head is going to spin. You're going to feel like you're about to throw up. I want you to talk anyway, even though the voice is shaking. I want you to talk. I want you to say something. Because there's no way around the nerves. There is no way. I give you guys an example all the time. Even Mike Tyson will tell you that even after so many fights, when it's time to walk into the ring on the day of a boxing match, you can't help but be a little bit nervous. So I don't even want to discuss nerves, right? I want to tell Beverly what she needs to say when she gets into the next meeting. I'll give you an example. People that are working in the insurance sector, guys, I want you to go and sit in the meeting and say, one of the things that I've picked up is that an average South African income earner, right? I'm in distribution in Sweden. First job I've landed in Scandinavia. So I'm climbing black child. Yes, right? So Beverly, I want you to think about your company, right? I'm not sure how distribution works, but I want you to think about your company, right? And think about what are some of the things that can improve in terms of how you service your customers. Think of something very simple. I want you to sit in that meeting, and even though your stomach is shaking, I want you to voice it and say, this is how I think we should be working with stuff. You know, feel yourself shaking in your body, but say it. I'm scared, coach. I'm an introvert, but I get nervous talking to the CEO, COO. So Z.A. Belinda, I want you to open your mouth and talk. That's what I want you to do. Your voice is gonna shake. Your stomach is gonna feel hot. You're going to feel like, yeah, it's time to go to the bathroom. But I want you to open your mouth and talk anyway. Because it's the only way you get through it, guys. Right? There are no breathing exercises that I can give you. Right? There is no psychological thing that I can give you. What I can tell you is open your mouth and talk. Open your mouth and talk and speak and say hi. Guys, you guys are typing here all the time. You are speaking to me, and I'm an executive. Why guys? But you are scared of the other ones. But they are exactly like me, guys. We are the same people, right? So if you're not scared of me, you can't be scared of them. I'm not scared. I'm currently in an area that don't give me an opportunity to be in meetings. Hey, Rapsteak, Askis, Rapsteak, how close are you when a Rabelani? Let me call you with your ID name. How close are you with your manager? Maybe we can make a plan there, right? Yes, my voice shakes when I speak. Sometimes I get terrible stomach cramps before meetings. Tembiso, that is good. Stembiso, that is good. Then you must speak even when you are feeling like that. Stembiso, Uzwe, when your stomach is hot, just open your mouth and let the words come out. Just let the words, speak slowly and let your words come out. You're going to be fine. Trust me, guys. You can't, right? I miss days when I was still in job because I had opportunity to interact with GMs and executives. Hey, Rapsteak, tell me how close you are with your manager. Maybe we can make something there. But government also is something else. And funny, as funny, I'm also executive. Eh? They have this side, guys. Don't let this executives scare you. Ne? You see, if you met me outside TikTok, ne? And then you saw me in a management meeting, you would be like, yo, yeah, this is a serious person. We do that, guys, but some of your executives are actually here on TikTok as well. They are humans, because we can't see you. Okay, because you can't see me. Okay, sharp. Next time I'm gonna be on camera, I want to see what you guys are gonna do. My problem is putting myself out there when it's a group setting, but one-on-one I have no problems. Vuyelo, let me tell you something, ne? Vuyoletu. One-on-one is also good. One-on-one is also good, right? Look at number 2, where you're just dealing with your manager. And this is the reason why I'm asking Rabelani this question, right? Where you can go to your only manager and then your manager will become your mouthpiece, right? It's constantly going to them and coming up with solutions and thinking what can be done and whatnot. And what they do is they become your mouthpiece because they mention you when they're sitting in these meetings. Oh, one of my employees, Vuyolo, to said this, and that. You understand what I'm saying? So that is also fantastic. At least you are doing something. Right? That's true. When I start talking, I became more respected. Ntlanta, I'm telling you, your status goes up. You become respected. Right? Your status goes up as well. And as directors of companies, let me tell you, apart from the skills and the knowledge, we move people up that have status. Because when you have status and class, we know our clients are going to love you. So we move you up to management. We move you up to executive. Right? Class is very important. I'm in a very consultative role, but with Exco, my nerves get the better of me. I'm telling you, Belinda, I get you, but I want you to talk. Belinda, practice, right? Open your mouth and say one sentence and then stop, right? The next meeting, 2 sentences, 3 sentences. But guys, you have to talk. The thing is, you can't say, this is how I am, and then we are a valid case. That's not going to happen. You're going to become a dull employee. English disappears the minute I open my mouth. Guys, English is difficult, English is difficult. But what I can tell you when rules is, we spoke about how to improve your industry language. So English is actually not very important. Industry language is important, right? Yes, most of the time, English language is written in English, right? But industry language is written in English, but that is the most important one. But I know English, guys, English runs away from me all the time. I don't even care anymore. It's not even a thing. The bundles, they run out. What do you do when your manager hides the good things you do and highlights the bad? Anyway, there are 2 solutions to this thing, right? Number 1, it's maybe you are in a wrong work environment and you are not a 3. It's time for you to move. Number 2, you need to shift your strategy, right? There are other managers in your company. Guys, that's why I'm saying network outside your department. There are managers outside that you can discuss certain ideas with and share things with. It's not called insubordination or anything like that. You have a right to talk to people and network with people. You have a right to do that. So those people, they might listen to you and see a little superstar in you and say, this thing a person. I remember there was a time where I worked for a company. All the favors that I've gotten was not from my direct boss. It was from an outside executive because I was networking with that person. That person plugged me with projects that got me closer to the CEO and everybody, and I was moving up. Low toxic, goodbye. Crash, I'm not doing preschool. I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Shumi. Guys, once you start, you will shake, but just continue. Tell them when. Once as an intern, I made a presentation. See, now Shumi is telling us, guys, you have to push on. You have to push on, guys, right? There's not one. I see Real G has the same problem. G, network outside. Network outside, boss. I'm telling you. I always say to people, get to the point where you even networking at other branches. Guys, network at other branches. You've got their email address, you've got everything. Hey, chief, I need to run something by you there. Do you mind if we jump on Teams quickly? So that that other branch is hearing about you. So guys, your direct supervisor is not the be all and end all. I think I'm saying it correctly. Yeah, something like that, right? But it's not the only key to things. Make sure, I think my problem is I speak fast so I can finish quickly, then my English also runs faster too. Nanali, you speak fast like me, right? Slow it down, right? And then when the English runs away, guys, pull it back. There's nothing wrong with the English running away. I think you guys are too tough on yourselves, right? When the English runs away, you guys think, the whole thing is botched. No, let the English run away and then jump onto something else and then get back on the wagon and push, because it's about the message and the idea that you're bringing at the end of the day, the solution, rather than the English, that's happening. The presentation was with the senior managers and they recognize what I didn't see. There you go, How does one ask for a higher position? Do you have a video on that? Ngabagazi, go check how to initiate promotion talks on careeremporium.co.za. Go there, go check it out. careeremporium.co.za. I think it's the latest one that we did. How to initiate promotion talks. Go check it out there. It's an article that I did. Coach, you are on a right. I'm challenging myself every day, and now I'm a team leader. Look at Mr. Mohale. Mr. Mohale, they are proper fetch army. They are fetching these things. You understand there are things that you need to do. You are a true testament, Mr. Mohale. Some get irritated and brush you off, telling you this is not the place to discuss that. Amapunu. Bulelwa, then we leave the work environment. I mean, like, if people are just brushing you off and they just plain being rude, they don't give you a professional reason why they don't want to listen to some of the things that you bring. Then, but also, guys, be careful about what you bring to them. Like I said, guys, Nami, if you start complaining too much and then you're constantly complaining about everything all the time and you constantly complain, I'm going to start brushing you off. So ask yourself, what you bring to the table and those conversations that you bring to the table, are they strategic ones, right? Or is it just low-level talk where it's just constantly complaining? But if it's professional talk and they brush you off, you are not a tree. You must move, right? What are some of the strategies that one can do when you have weekly check-in with your manager as a team? Oh, I love that one, right? So let me tell you something. Violet, study the industry, right? The weekly ones are the best ones for me. Study the industry, right? So that when you get into these talks, you start having elevated conversations. I will give you an example, right? If you're working for an insurance company, instead of getting in and talking about how we should be capturing things on an Excel spreadsheet, change your industry language and your industry thinking and say, the average income earner in South Africa is inadequately insured, right? This is something that I read in a report, by the way, and I'm not even in the insurance sector, right? But it's a best example. So Violet will sit in there and say, so that's what I noticed. So I think that in order for us to be able to just increase, revenue when it comes to our department and whatnot, we should partner with the comms department and see how we can come up with a campaign, and the marketing department come up with a campaign that will create awareness when it comes to how somebody can be adequately insured. We can use our different social media platforms. I can speak to Lerato because I've got friends in marketing. That's why it's important to have friends everywhere. Do you understand now, Violet? You're not just talking about spreadsheets and just talking about emails. You are elevating your thinking. So when I've Violet, I'm telling you, that gives you a fantastic opportunity, right? In a way, add value each time, and add big value. Right? Add superstar value. Guys, don't discuss spreadsheets, man. So Mrs. English is always away, but he's on top of the TV show. When I'm telling you, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of people that the English is running away, and the English is inili. The English is hard, but these people are flying because the proposition that they are putting in front of them, in front of people, is strong. Guys, there was a guy Ovela Eilalini, and this guy was proper Izilali. English was hard. But that guy was one of the best executives that the company has ever seen. They didn't care how he pronounces things. But the strategies that he came up with, whenever he was in a suit and then the clients walked in, the clients loved him. They adored him. Bekakhuluma nama-clienting is-Pedi. You understand what I'm saying? That guy helped us to win Limpopo as a province, as a consulting company. We had to open up a branch that side because he's connected with his people. So his English was Pedi English, but it didn't matter because I mean this was a guy who was a superstar class he loved. You understand? So guys, don't worry too much about that. Afternoon coach, Mina, I'm lacking confidence. Have been working some position for years, no promotion, no. Shubi, we need to look at your whole structure. Right? It could be because you disappear a little bit. There could be issues of industry language, right? There could be some of the things that maybe you are implementing in order to get yourself into a high position, right? You could be just operational and working. We need to get you to think strategically, right? I'm always scared to participate in meetings. Immediately when I start talking, my voice shakes. User, when the voice shakes, you keep talking. Trust me on this. When the voice shakes, you keep talking. A lot of us as public speakers, I'm a public speaker. I'm doing a panel discussion tomorrow at Sun International. Now I just sit and talk. Let me tell you, my first public speaking gigs, shaky voice because my confidence was like, what's going on here? It gets better with time. Right? So you need to think about this, guys. It has nothing to do, job promotion has nothing to do with how long you've been working for a company, right? That's called duration. It has nothing to, job promotion has nothing to do with how long you've been working in that company. It has to do with how visible and how you showed up in that time when you are working for that company. If you uhlale deskin, uzohlale deskin 10 years young, deskin. You understand? But that's what I'm saying. When you elevate those conversations, you elevate your thing. Guys, why do I send you webinars? Why do I send you guys webinars to attend? I send you guys webinars to attend so that you can start understanding what elevated thinking is, what industry thinking is, so that you guys can learn those habits. And then you can shock your bosses by talking industry, talking big things, you know, when you come up with these solutions, right? And I mean, number two is a very strategic thing. You are trying to show your boss that you've learned new things. So sometimes you ask them for direction, but you don't really need that direction. It's your time to flex. You want to go flex and say, according to this sustainability report, you know, the world is moving and this new technology and what. It's your time to flex so that your manager can be like, okay, there's something going on here. And they start mentioning you in other places, or not just your manager. Let me say a manager, even if it's a manager who's outside, especially if you manager Koyimbus, you know. I've been reading Communication Secrets to Get From Good to Great. It narrates stories. There you go. Internal leaders who are recognized because of their communication. Guys, look at what PC Matt is saying. Né? Follow her thread. It's 4 messages, right? Communication is very important. I'm starting to talk and contribute in meetings. Guys, look at what PC Matt is saying. She's saying exactly what I've been saying. Exactly what I've been saying, right? I don't feel good when this masterclass doesn't come with the hard reprimanding. Thank you, coach. I have to reprimand you guys at the end. You understand? That's the kind of coach I am. Guys, we are the Fetch Army. If you're new here, make sure that you follow me. And then make sure that you become part of the Fetch Army. Go join the WhatsApp group on keraemporium.co.za. And as the general of the Fetch Army, I'm tough on my troops, right? But it's all love, guys. It's because I want you guys to be different. What I'm telling you here, right? All 72 people that are here, you guys are hearing this information. Other people outside are not hearing it. That means you're going to beat them at work. You're going to beat them in promotions. You're going to beat them in interviews, right? But we have to call a spade a spade. That's why I'm saying the theme, this whole masterclass today, yivuka emaqandeni. Like, guys, vugani emaqandeni. I've never heard it kasotho. So hangoma yeng, it doesn't add. Wake up in the eggs, no. For the years, the Africans one, I think it slaps a little bit. You understand, guys? But Vugani Ematra, then guys, wake up. Wake up. It's Kasok Dalas Pelid, right? Guys, talk even when you are shaking. Talk even when you are shaking. When your voice shakes, you talk. You understand what I'm saying? You talk anyway, guys. There's no ways to get around it, right? So the 2 biggest problems that I've seen today that we need to deal with, right? I have an interview coming up at school for a deputy principal. Can you help? Ooh, deputy principal. Wake up in the eggs is not make sure. So you see, my English bundles, you know, and I'm trying to show you guys that English bundles can run away sometimes, you know, and then that is okay. right? Come through Lifestyle with Sifi. Go to keraimporam.co.za. Go book your interview. Oh, iseng maing. Now I'm adding eggs everywhere. I get a shapaka direct translation. So everywhere I'm just adding eggs. Vuge makande, you know? It has to translate. You understand, guys? So hang borokong, guys. So hang borokong. Vugane makande. You understand? That's very important. So go book your session when a lifestyle. We wish you the best. Seriously, we really do. Right? We're gonna make you win. We're really gonna make you win. And especially my parara is a school principal, so it's gonna be easy for me to even get some of the tips for you. He was a deputy school principal, and then he became a principal. You know. So yeah. So I'll be able to get you some nice tips there. Your session is gonna be resourceful. You know. So yes, guys, that's what I wanted to speak to you guys about. Let's double tap the screen. Let's get to 30K so that we can be able to exit, right? But yeah, you know, so yeah, guys, that's the Fetch Army mentality. So yes, I was summarizing by saying the first problem that I'm picking up, guys, and I'm acknowledging is that some of your managers is imbuzi. So imbuzi, my manager imbuzi donkey. What I want you guys to do is network in other departments because they've got amazing managers as well, right? It might not have to do with your specific job, but you guys are all in the same company with the same goals, right? You're all working on the same product, right? So go and network outside. If you guys have different branches, please go network at other branches as well. Make sure the branch manager of somewhere else knows about you because you guys are all on teams. You guys are connected, right? So that's the first one. That's how you resolve it. The second one I'm hearing is that communication. Guys, please trust me on this. When the stomach starts getting hot and the palms start getting sweaty, just speak. Just let the words come out of your mouth. Just speak anyway. Let that voice shake. Just talk anyway. Get your words out of your mouth. Start with 2 sentences. You don't have to participate. When we're talking about participating in meetings, guys, you don't have to be talking from when the meeting starts to when the meeting ends. Bashaying are 2 powerful sentences that come up with some positiveness or positive solution. Just 2 sentences. Then you keep quiet, you sit in the background and let the others talk. But do it even when your voice is shaky. So those are the 2 big things, guys, and I'm giving you solutions. But guys, please do me a favor. Do not be dull employees. Do not be dull employees. Hoputo, thank you so much. Hoputo is a cheerleader. She always cheers us to 30K likes consistently. I really appreciate you, Hoputo. Really appreciate you. Guys, please go follow Hoputo. You will, I'm telling you, you will understand how lazy you are. You'll want to go to gym. Hoputo, guys, she skips rope like nobody's business. I mean, like, yo, you'll be motivated to get back to gym, you know. Now I never let the opportunity pass. Always have something to say or ask. There you go when refilo Marcela. There you go. Refilo Marcela sounds like a presenter's name. I was newsreader. Refilo Marcela. It has those vibes. I'm picking up those vibes there, you know. So guys, we're going to close off. Thank you so much for coming through. The last 3 masterclasses, I haven't put them on YouTube. So even this one, I will work on it this weekend. I promise I will put them there. So guys, we are starting the train. Nanali has started the train, #Fetch Army. Guys, please put it in the comments. Put #Fetch Army in the comments. When you put #Fetch Army in the comments, that means you are acknowledging the things that are on the screen and you're going to do them. So let's keep the train going while I'm giving you guys shout outs as we are closing the lives, right? We are here every day at 14 o'clock. Hoputo is right. Guys, I'm going to give you your shout outs, but keep typing #Fetch Army and make sure that you follow me in the meantime. Shumi Shumaiza, my tutor. Thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you for coming through. I really appreciate you. Batobile, superstar, I really appreciate you. She is the captain and the lieutenant of the Fetch Army. Thank you for coming through. Nanalis Kim Samsekazi, I really appreciate you. Thank you for coming through and thank you for the gifts. Gottlieb, thank you for coming through. Ngabagazi, I see you. Lost Boy, I appreciate you for coming through. Sid, thank you for coming through. Zintle6, thank you for coming through. Kumbu37, thank you for coming through. I'm seeing Kumbu's name a lot. Stembi, so thank you for coming through. I see you. Vuyoletu, thank you for engaging and welcome to the Fetch Army. I see you. Tsatsi, I see you. Edward, my boy, I see you. Thank you for always coming through. Millipede, thank you for coming through. Millipede, I haven't seen you in quite a while. Lama, thank you for coming through. Singy, thank you for coming through. Presh, welcome to the Fetch Army. I see you. PC Med, thank you for sharing the valuable information. I really appreciate you. The Real G, my boy, thank you for coming through. I see you. Jess, thank you for coming through. Kiri, my friend, thank you so much for always supporting the live and coming through. Tabs, I see you. Rules, thank you for engaging. Musutu Apron, thank you for coming through. Naledi Tembanya, I see you. Mr. Mohale, I see you. Otilia, thank you for coming through. I see you. Rabelani, thank you for coming through. Shenyiwe, thank you for coming through. Nia, I really appreciate you. Zen, thank you for coming through. Njikati, I see you. Gates, I see you. NFSCBC, I see you. Zwail, I see you. Zanele R, thank you for coming through. Precious Miss P, I see you. Rameleng, I see you. Lifestyle with C, come through for your job interview prep. keremporium.co.za. Sibongile Ngomane, I see you. Mamtolo, my friend, thank you for coming through. I see you. Bulelo Nhlapo, thank you for engaging and thank you for coming through. I really appreciate you. Welcome to the army. Hopotso, really appreciate you for sharing us to more than 35k likes. I really appreciate you. Hopotso, you are a superstar. Nontle, thank you for coming through. Conscious Togo, thank you for coming through. BY Zenda, thank you for coming through. Jackknife Maps, I really appreciate you. Welcome to the Fetch Army. Refuele Fifi, thank you for coming through. Can't buy Fifi. Fetch Armies. Too much fifiring here. Lisedi Mo Kate, I see you. Andile, I see you. D8631, I see you. Yonki, you've been packed here all along and you don't even say anything. You know this Yonki is a problem. Yonki, you snuck in when. Zama, thank you for coming through. And Austin M937, I see you. Guys, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. If I haven't mentioned your name, I go by the list that TikTok has given me. Guys, I am not hating. You can just put in the comments and say, Coach, you didn't see me. Then I will give you 2 more minutes and then I can recognize you and then we can close it. Guys, we are back tomorrow at 14 o'clock. That's what we are doing, right? So guys, if I did not recognize you, blame TikTok. They gave me a list and then Mina, I just followed the list. But guys, other than that, me, I need to go cut my hair because I'm presenting tomorrow. I love you guys. Tomorrow I'm gonna. So guys, here's how it's gonna work tomorrow. Before Ngamba, Monday we'll be back to regular master classes like the one that we just did now. Tomorrow I'm going to be at what's that place called? The Sun International thing there. Yes, I'm gonna be there, right? I'm gonna be doing a speaking engagement. So what I'm going to do is that I'm gonna be going live in random times, right? So when I get there, I'm going to go live to show you guys the place. Obviously, when other people are speaking, I'm going to show you the people that are speaking, but I won't be able to speak because I have to be the Maslow. Yes. How can I forget the Maslow? And then, yeah, so while other people are speaking, I'm going to show you guys the conference, but I won't be able to speak back to you because, man, you guys know how loud I am. The next thing I'm busy answering your comments there, right? So I'm going to show you that, and then I'm going to go outside, and then I'm going to show you a little bit more. So I'm going to be live in random times. I don't know the exact times, but you guys will know whenever I'm live. You can join if you can join. If you can't join, it's still all good. Ne? And when I'm speaking, obviously I will not be live as I am speaking because it's going to interrupt me. So yeah, guys, that's what I'm doing tomorrow. It's very exciting. I'm really excited about it. I'll take a lot of pictures as well. But guys, let me go gunda my hair. Love you guys. Really appreciate you. You guys are Bari Fetch Army Rocks. Fetch Army Rocks. You know, that's what we are. We are an army. Guys, let me go. Sharp. I love you guys.